great information today from Tradestation support on how to prevent Tradestation crashes, and I'm looking at the logical number of processors, logical processors. So when you go into your task manager, you can click on the start button on Windows, type in task manager, go into the second tab and click performance. This is my desktop. This is an i9 12900 KS, and it has it was 8 cores, and it's been reduced to 4 cores. And I want to show you how I did this. This was 8 cores, and the logical number of processors was 24. Now, if you go over to details, I want to explain to you why I reduced the number of logical processors after talking to Tradestation support. If you go over to ORCAL, if you go under ORCAL, click on the details tab, go under ORCAL when it's running. This number under CPU should be no greater than the number 100 divided by the number of logical processors. So 100, you take 100, you pull it out of the air, you divide by 24, number of logical processors, that equals 4.1. And so this number has been going as high as 6. And so that could cause Tradestation to crash. I just made this update. I just reduced the number of logical processors to 8. And so that should be able to go up to 12.5, something like 12.5. But this number is a whole number, so it doesn't matter. So it's just basically 12. And so if this number, I'm going to take the pin away so it's more dynamic now. So it goes down to 2, as high as 6. And so if it pushes over 100 divided by the number of logical processors, again, logical processors is right here. And this number was 24 for me. And now I'm going to show you how to change that number of logical processors in Windows. And so what you'll do is you'll pull up System Configuration, you'll click on the Start button in the lower left hand corner. You don't see that here on this screen. And you'll type in MSCONFIG. Just like that, MSCONFIG. And then you'll get to the boot. You go to the boot and you click on, you'll see this, you'll see Windows 10. You click on Advanced Options. And this is unchecked. When I came to this was unchecked. And in the drop down list there was 24. And so I changed this. I clicked on this and I selected 8. That was the recommended number as far as how low you want to go, the status quo for the number of logical processors for high performance. You could test different numbers, but this is what I'm using right now is 8, and I will and I just made this change. And so once you make this change, I've already made the change on mine, it'll ask you to reboot it. So make sure you do this outside of trading hours. And this is on my desktop, and I checked my VPS, my dedicated server, and it was already set to 8. I've never paid attention to the number of logical processors. I've never looked at that number. I've only looked at the cores, I've looked at the speed, but I've never looked at the number of logical processors. So, 16 might work well, 8 might work well, 12 might work well. I had 24, which is a little high. And again, the reason I want to do this is 100 divided by the number of logical processors is the maximum number of CPUs, number of logical processors that this process should use. And you want to expand that. It's counterintuitive. You don't increase your resources, you decrease the number of logical processors available on your trading computer. So good information from Tradestation support on that. I will let you know how that goes. You can contact me to see how that went. So I've just set this up, and we'll see if I have less crashes in Tradestation. I had more crashes after the latest Windows update and the latest Tradestation update. So wanted to share that with you this morning. Logical processors in your CPU. Hey, David Bean here. Welcome to Capstone Trading Systems YouTube page. Be sure to subscribe to join our community of algorithmic traders. We are real money traders. We share our winning streaks, we share our losing streaks, as well as market updates, strategies, and coding tips.